YouTube, thank you for joining me once again, and I hope you all are having a wonderful day out there. And thank you so much for all your love in the last video. I really appreciate it. And to all the new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing and joining the community. I really appreciate it, especially for a small channel like mine that's trying to grow. It means a lot. And it means a lot to me. I'm glad you guys are getting something out of these videos I've been making. It says in my mission statement on the channel that really I made these videos in this channel to try to provide the resources I wish I had when I was learning to play. So the fact that you're getting something out of these videos makes me really happy. So we're going to continue on today with another method video on how to hack your brain in order to become a master of memorization and transposition. So let's get into it. So in this video, I picked a couple of melodies that it sounds like there's a lot going on, but really just clearly outlines 3 tonal centers. So I'm going to show you how to analyze it, how to think about it, so that you can transpose effortlessly. And that melody, of course, is Parisian Thoroughfare. If you haven't heard this song before, it's by Bud Powell originally. It's a jazz tune. And it's a great tune. It sounds like there's a lot going on. It sounds really complicated, but it's actually very simple. There's a couple of great versions of this song out there. There's one by Clifford Brown. Anyway, go check it out. It's a great song. So when we're analyzing this, for now, just ignore the chord changes. We'll talk about those in another video. But for now, they're not important. Just ignore them for now. First thing to remember, and just remember this, every time you approach a piece of music, think about it like this. The melody you're looking at, whatever it is, that set of intervals, whether it's major, minor, whatever it is exactly the same in any key. That set of intervals is going to be the same. In F or F sharp or E, whatever it is, that melody is going to be exactly the same. So keep that in mind. Now, let's look at this piece of music. And when you're looking at this song, Parisian Thoroughfare, this is an F originally. It's in a bunch of, I've heard it in almost every key. But this was originally written in F. And if you look at it, you don't need a key signature. You don't even need to play it. When you look at the melody, it is very clearly in the key of F because it is outlining in triplets to F scale. You're basically just walking up and down the F scale in triplets. So very clearly in F. Once again, let's start with our F scale. If you look at your F scale, write out the notes. What is it again? F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So you have your F scale. And now apply scale degrees to that F scale. So 1 becomes F, 2, so F becomes 1, G becomes 2, A becomes 3, etc. You finish your scale. Now apply those scale degrees to the melody. And you see very quickly, it is literally just going up and down the scale because it starts with 5, 6, 7, 1, and then walks back down the scale to the 2. So it sounds like this. So very clearly when you play it, you can tell it's an F. It resolves to F, it sounds like it's an F. And in fact, that second melody phrase starts on the 5 of F and walks all the way an octave and a half back up to the 1. So you're literally just playing the F scale. So if we look at just the very beginning of that again, the first phrase, let's apply this method to that. So let's look at that in scale degrees and think of it in just scale degrees. So C, D, E, F, E, D, C, B flat, A, G. That becomes 5, 6, 7, 1, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now at first you're going to have to think of this in relation to both. After a while it just becomes the notes and a shape. So at first you're thinking C, D, E, F becomes 5, 6, 7, 1. So 5 is C, 6 is D, 7 is E, F is 1, you hit your tonic, and then you're back to 7, which is E, and then 6 is D, and then 5 is C, etc., etc. Play it slowly at first, thinking about that. Think about the note and think about the scale degree as you're playing through it until it becomes super fast. So you can do them both at the same time, super fast. C, D, E, F, E, D, C, B flat, A, G, like that fast. Faster than that. Faster than you can say it out loud. That's how you want to do it, get there. And once you get to that point, once you get to the point where you can say the notes, say the scale degrees, have them aligned in your head, and play it while you're saying them at the same time, now comes a transposition. Now you take that shape, that shape and that set of scale degrees, and you apply it to any key. So in this case, we're going to go around the circle of fourths. And I'm just going to show you, here's how quickly you can memorize a melody and transpose it. So we have that melody in F. Now let's go around the circle of fourths. So the next key would be B flat. All right, the next key would be E flat. Excuse me. Next key is A flat. Next key is D flat or C sharp. I like to think C sharp. Next one is F sharp. Next one is B. Next one is E. Next one is A. Next one is D. Next one's G. Next one's C. And then we're back to F. So that's how quickly you can transpose melodies like this once you have them in your brain this way. Once you're thinking of them in scale degrees and the shape, you can just plug and play to any scale. And you see some of those are a little more awkward, like the fingering of A flat is a little awkward, the fingering of F sharp is a little awkward, so I kind of flub some of those. But you know, take it slowly at first, but you'll notice the first probably 2 or 3 keys are going to take some concentration. But once you get through that, the rest of them are going to happen so fast. It's funny, when you do it like this, at first it feels like you're adding an extra step. You're like, oh, now I have to memorize scale degrees and notes and combine them. It's an extra step. But in reality, what you're doing is you're turning that scale or that melody, whatever it is you're playing, you're turning that melody into a recognizable shape that can then be played in any key. You can dump it into any key. And this is much faster than the traditional way we're taught to transpose. For instance, I was taught to transpose. Okay, so you're in F. All right, now you want to go to B flat. That's the 4th away. Okay, now you apply that interval of a 4th to every note in the melody. This is how I was taught. Oh, so C, so I want to go, I'm in F, I want to go to B flat. I start on the 5, C. So C, what's the 4th away from C? C, D, E, F. Okay, all right, so okay, so the next note is F. And then I would be like, okay, what's the next note? The next note is D, so D, E, F, G. Okay, the next note is G. It's a slow, cumbersome process that doesn't make, it really doesn't make any sense. But when you think about it this way, you are applying scale degrees to your notes, and then you can just plug that into any key. So you know, all right, if I'm in F and I want to go to E, or if I want to go to A, if I'm in F and I want to go to A, I know that I start on the 5. What's the 5 of A? It is E. And then you can just plug in your melody starting on the 5 and play the shape. This really does make transposition effortless. It makes it nearly effortless. You have to do a little mental gymnastics, but like I said, the more you do it, the easier and easier and easier it gets. So let's apply this technique to the bridge now. If you look at the bridge melody of Parisian Thoroughfare, Bud Powell, who wrote the song, did some of the transposition work for you. The song modulates in the bridge to the major third, to A major, and it plays a melody phrase. Sounds like this. So he plays that in 2 keys. He already transposed it for you, because later on in the bridge, he transposes it to the 5 chord. He transposes it to C. So you already have it in 2 keys in the bridge, same melody. So let's do the same with this. So we're in A major now, so you have your A major scale, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Now apply scale degrees to that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like that. And A becomes 1, B becomes 2, C sharp becomes 3, etc. Now apply those scale degrees to your melody. And what do you see? Starts on the 5, and now your E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, C natural, C sharp, E becomes 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, flat 3, 3, 5. If you look at that melody, that is exactly the same melody that happens at the beginning of the next phrase in the bridge, which happens in C in this case. So Bud Powell's already transposed that to 2 keys for you. He's already done A and C. So let's start in A again, and then let's play this melody doing what we've done now. You now have the scale degrees for this melody. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, flat 3, 3, 5. You have the scale degrees. Now let's plug that into every key around the circle of fourths. So we are in A. Let's play it now. The next key would be D. Let's play it in D. All right, now let's play it in G. Now let's play it in C. That one I kind of cheated because it's already in the song. I already knew that one. All right, let's do it in F now. That's the next key. All right, now let's do it in B flat. Excuse me, let's do it in B flat. That one's a little bit awkward for the fingering, but you know, you get the idea. All right, now that one's E flat is the next one. Now A flat's the next one. A flat's the next one. Now D flat or C sharp's the next one. Now the next one's F sharp. Next one's F sharp. Fingering for F sharp. The fingering for D flat, C sharp, and F sharp always kind of throw me off a little bit if I'm trying to be really quick with it. Next one's B. Next one's E. And then we're back to A. So that quickly you can turn your melody phrase into a set of scale degrees and a shape, and then just plug and play into every scale. So just like that, you can take melody phrases from different songs, you can analyze them in this fashion, and then you can transpose them nearly effortlessly into all 12 keys as quick as that. That took, 30 seconds to go through all 12 keys in these songs. At first, you're gonna have to take your time. You're gonna have to make sure you spell out the notes and then spell out the scale degrees, the corresponding scale degrees. Get to where you can do it very quickly while you're playing in your head, speaking it in your head and playing it at the same time, up to speed or faster, just to get it under your fingers. And then transpose it. First couple of keys are gonna be tough, but the more you do it, it gets faster and faster and faster. And songs like this are great because even though there's chord changes happening and there's some slight modulations going on, the melody figures very clearly outline the keys you're in. Some songs are more complicated. Some are modulating all over the place. The melodies hint at substitutions that aren't in the chord changes. So there's some tunes that take some discernment, and we're going to get into those. That's in another video. We're going to talk about a Charlie Parker tune where the melody is quite complicated. But we'll get there. So once again, remember, very important, and it's hard to wrap your brain around this at first, every melody, no matter what it is, that set of intervals is exactly the same in any key. Doesn't matter what key you're playing it in, that set of intervals is exactly the same. So learn it this way, analyze it this way, and very soon you're going to become a master of memorization and transposition. Thank you so much for joining me. In the next couple of videos, I'm going to be doing some more melodies, but we're going to get to the chord changes of these same videos. Those get a little more complicated when you're trying to hack them because you have to know a little more information, but you can hack them in exactly the same way. It just takes a little bit more deep dive into how the chords function, but we're going to get into that. But till then, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you again to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate it. Leave me a like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if there's any song in particular you want to hear, any melody that you want to analyze in this fashion, and I'll help you guys out. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.